Yeah, Netflix again. So I'm going to talk about Black Mirror. It's from a couple years ago, but it's became popular again. It's kind of an anthology series, Twilight Zone type thing, but it's all about technology. This show starts off with an episode where the princess is kidnapped and the only ransom demand is for the Prime Minister of England to have sex with a pig on national television. Yeah, this is episode that got people wondering what the fuck this show was, what would happen next. Sadly, by the time anyone watched the show, it had already been long canceled, but it's starting to get popularity again. You never know, England, they can always bring shit back. It's only 3 episodes. But yeah, this one's really well done. It's really interesting. Willy Woney, what's going on story, and it got people interested in this whole concept. That one stars Rory Kinnear as the Prime Minister. The next one stars Daniel Kaluuya from a bunch of British television shows, and he also played Black Death in Kick-Ass 2. It's kind of a weird futuristic world where you almost literally spin on a hamster wheel to earn your living. You ride a stationary bike. And you can earn credits by doing that, or you can spend credits to watch TV while you're spinning on the bike. And you have to, there's no choice, you just have to live this existence of just plugging along and spending your money on crap and just never doing anything, never advancing, just staying stationary your entire life. Or you can give up all your morals, all your personal beliefs, and just become a reality TV star. It's actually really interesting, really good, really well acted. I think it's one of the better episodes of the series, and I actually enjoyed this one pretty much from beginning to end. Episode 3, last episode of season 1. It's British, there's only 3 episodes. I didn't really like this one that much. It's kind of a great idea of a world where you have an implant in your brain and you can replay any moment you want. You have this little remote control and you can show it on a screen to people to like relive a job interview, to an argument to settle who is right or who is wrong, who remembered things correctly. One guy just uses it to bitch about his hotel rooms on vacation. But yeah, it's a great idea, but it ends up the main plot is really misused and really not that interesting. According to IMDb, this is actually the best episode, and I'm completely wrong. But I have no history relationships, and I just totally don't get it. Not a huge fan of that episode. It stars the guy that played Doctor Doom in the most recent Fantastic Four. The next one stars Haley Atwell from Agent Carter, and it's another kind of unoriginal thing. Uh, her husband dies, so she signed up for this program that can simulate your dead relatives. Her husband dies and she signed up for this thing. Starts off with emails and then text and then voice chat on the phone, and then she puts the personality into a simulated body. But of course she's not happy with it, and it's parts of this existed at the time, and it was just kind of a growth, but it's just really not that interesting. Maybe it's the acting, I don't know, maybe it's the realization that this might happen that it just makes it not that sci-fi to me. The next one I really enjoyed. It stars Leona Critchlow, who's in a bunch of British shows I've never heard of. I've never seen her before. But she wakes up from a failed suicide attempt and immediately leaves her house to people just recording her with cell phones. Everywhere she goes, people are just watching her. She finds out there was this weird signal that turn 90% of the population into spectators, and they just watch what goes on in everyone else's life, to the point that some people realized, well, if everyone's just watching, I can just start killing motherfuckers and steal shit. So hunters appear and just start chasing after her and just start killing random people that are part of the 10% that aren't watchers for the entertainment of the 90% that are watchers. And is really, really good. The acting in this is solid throughout. I didn't recognize any of the actors. It's a lot of British TV actors, but this one was one of the best episodes, if not the best episode of the series for me. Season 2, Episode 3, I can sum up really fucking quick. A literal cartoon character runs for an MP position in England on the grounds that all politicians are full of shit and you should vote for an outsider. His main stance is swearing at people, calling them assholes, and encouraging his supporters to beat people that disagree with him. I see no correlation to modern politics here. This would never happen. The cartoon character is blue. Donald Trump is orange. I have no idea what you're talking about. There's this Christmas episode at the end. Technically, it's part of season 3, where two guys, John Hamm and Raph Spall, sit in this shed and talk about their lives and what brought them to be in this shed, kind of being ostracized from society to the point that they're punished by just sitting at this remote outpost in the middle of winter doing nothing. And they both tell their stories that someone hit a block button on them. You know how I told you they had a redo remote that can spin back and re-see conversations? Well, you can point it at somebody and hit block, and they turn into a gray blob to you, and you turn into a gray blob to them. So they can never talk to you again until you hit the button again. But it immediately reminded me of a Twilight Zone from the 80s called To See the Invisible Man, where if you're a dick, the government sentences you to be invisible, and no one is allowed to talk to you. And if they talk to you, they get a year of being invisible. So you're just fucking miserable. You just can't talk to people can't talk to you. You can't work. You can't do anything. You just sit there alone and sad for a year because you're a dick until you learn your lesson not to be a dick. And then I thought this the whole time, and at the very end, that ends up being the guy's punishment. He gets out of the shed to the punishment of Twilight Zone. So, yeah, I kind of ruined the last story, but just watch. I'll link it in the description. Watch To See an Invisible Man. 80s Twilight Zone episode. It's fabulous. It's really well put together. It's the same story as this. Overall, it's a really good show. It has some fantastic actors in it. Great direction. Everyone really cared, put their effort into it. And it's British, so you can take like 2 years off. Maybe it could come back someday. It's starting to really get a following now that it's on Netflix. But there's like 2 episodes I don't really get. The relationship stuff. Everyone loves them episodes. I just don't get the relationship-y things. I guess it's because I'm sad and alone and just don't get it. But maybe you'll get it. Watch them all. They're actually really good. It won't take you long. It's like 7 hours of watching for the whole damn show. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall try to do better next time.